We live in a broken and hurting world, and there is desperate need for change. As a group of young people, we seek to bring that change in the lives of others. We want to bring hope to people who seemingly have none. We really do believe the world does not have to look like it does now. There is hope. There is always hope. Things can change. We can't change it all at once, but as Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100, feed one. Pure Hope is a team of young people who have committed a year of their lives to serve the broken, poor and marginalized of this world. More than anything, we seek to help people break the cycle of poverty and grab hold of hope.
Well, the reason why we started Pure Hope in the first place, and the reason where it came from, was the gap between church and communities in need are so big, and there's been such a weird philosophy in how we help people. It's a handout philosophy. It's a going and seeing people in suffering and then feel good, good about yourself because I gave you a blanket or something like that. And we really were seeing a gap for how do you facilitate in a healthy way people from churches or the city or wealthier communities help out and support people that are in need and are suffering in a healthy way that actually empowers and dignifies them. It's empowering young people within the context of South Africa to make a difference and be exposed in areas of poverty and need and injustice, and being an active voice to bring hope and healing in those areas. So we do very much training for our young people, raising up young people that'll have influence, but at the same time then making a difference tangibly and working within areas that are in desperate need and really doing something about what's going on in those areas.
Okay, now you shake hands and you say we're friends. Okay, now we can play.
Well, at this point we have an exposure year or a first year that's mostly have been 18-year-old kids that just finished school. They normally come and they commit for a whole year, and then what we do is we give them training. So we have weekly training, 3 or 4 sessions a week. We also go to 3 projects a week that we go to every week, and the students then work at those projects and as volunteers, but in partnership with those projects. Our normal weeks at Pure Hope would go on Mondays and Tuesdays. In the mornings we do training, and then in both afternoons we go to Mabopane, which is about 70 kilometers outside of Pretoria. We are out in Mabopane. We're working with, we're at Good Hope Community Center. We come here twice a week, at least. So there's about 120 orphans living here. And then we get to just hang out with the kids. Our main focus as Pure Hope is really connecting with the kids on a relational, personal level, to build into them as people and give a little bit of the emotional and spiritual support to them. And the only way to really do that is to come consistently, weekly, and ultimately our goal is to have a full-time team that lives and works here with Mabopane and Mama Mary and the kids here. And it's fun to see how they change too, by just having healthy interaction and healthy play and actually just love. We had a water balloon and water gun fight. And then on Wednesday mornings we go to the prison, Bavianspoort Youth Prison, where we do leadership training with leaders in the one section and helping them get a vision for the future, and then we do relational connections and just one-on-one connecting with the guys in the big cell block and just hanging out with them. And on Wednesday afternoons we go to Danville and Pretoria West, where we then do an art class just to help them as a way of therapy deal with some of the stresses and trauma of living the way they do.
And weekly we come every Wednesday to Danville community, and I have a small art project class that I do with ladies in the building of Danville, and to talk to the women and hear their stories is very interesting, and build relationships is awesome.
And then we work at the after school center for the kids and the computer center. Thursdays we have a day off. It's pretty emotionally intense, so we give a day of rest, but that's also a day that the students get coaching and one-on-one mentoring. And then on Fridays we have more training and planning and evaluation of the week. And then what we do every month, at least once a month, we build a shack in a variation of communities where we go and really try to create space for people to have a place that they can call home, and that would be either building for someone who has no home or building for one that's completely falling apart. We will then rebuild a shack from scratch, and we call it our little extreme makeover shack build edition, where we go and actually buy a whole interior and really try and create a home for someone. Are you happy, Connie?
I'm very happy.
Oh, yay.
I'm very happy.
So this is the one half of the house. We're in the one corner. It's beautiful. Then we walk over this way. This is Connie's other half of her house. Have you stayed here?
Yes.
Have you? Sunday?
No, I came yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yes.
is it? And? Are you okay? Happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Is it?
I'm so
Okay.
grateful. Oh, I'm so happy.
Alright.
I'm so grateful. I don't know what to say. Just to say thank you all, and thank you God for sending your angels to come and help me. I never owned my own place. I never had my own place. I'm so grateful.
What's cool about being able to build a shack, you're really able to help someone, give them a space, because the idea is really to create space
Yes.
for people to build their own lives and their own homes, and it's just kind of like that kickstart we all need to move into the right direction, just something to start with, and it's also a great way to get people who don't know the areas here out here to do something and work with their hands and build something from nothing,
I'm so happy.
Good. I'm so glad. Our hope was to, through strong relational connections, to really connect with people that are in suffering, to build relationships. So we focus only on 3 or 4 projects because there's enough need here that we can be, every week of the year we can go to a different project. But what will we do? We won't really make a difference. But our hope is to, through being in one place, getting to know smaller amounts of people, but really empowering them and loving them and helping them help themselves, really. If we can get more people to connect on smaller levels with people in need and really commit to just those people, we'd really be able to actually make sustainable change. And whether you're rich or poor, black, white, colored, Indian, whichever race you're from, we're all the same. We all are equal. We want to love each other. If we can do that, if we can be people who do that, then we'll be able to make a change and see a different kind of South Africa.